Hello, everyone, and welcome to SpeakUpSis podcast. This is the place where everyday women and men have an opportunity to share their stories to inspire yours. We say what you think no one wants to hear, but everyone needs to know. I'm your host, Angel Charmaine. And just let me say, it has been a while since I have been in this place with you all, and I have missed y'all something terrible. But guess what? We are back, y'all, and we will be going live with our broadcast on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know y'all had gotten accustomed to Monday night. It's like Monday Night Football or something. So you know what? We just switched it to Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We're still going to be broadcasting live. So if you would like to be a guest on Speak Up Sis podcast, feel free to visit us at speakupsis.com/podcast and submit our guest request form. And if you're a good fit for the show, we'll reach out to you and we'll bring you on. But tonight, we have had some technical difficulties with sound, y'all, but that is so okay. I have a pretty awesome entrepreneur here with us tonight for the One-on-One with Angel segment. His name is Mr. Eric Marcus, and he is so amazing because he's the business owner who's responsible for making the Speak Up Sis Awards trophy a reality for us. So I decided to bring him on into the community so we can show him some love and he can talk to us about who he is, what he does. We're going to talk a little bit about trophies tonight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Mr. Marcus into the studio so that you all can see him, talk to him. Feel free to put all of your questions in the chat. Hello, Eric. How are you doing, brother?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. And I'm glad to be on this amazing show. Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for your patience tonight with all of the craziness that we have had going on. I'm telling you, there's like a blessing and a curse of social media and technology. When it's good, it's great.
Absolutely.
And when it's bad, it's really bad. Really bad.
Well, we're here. Okay. We're here.
We are here. And I want to talk about all the goodness that is Royal Trophies. And I got a few questions for you. And if we have some company in the chat, we'll allow them to ask questions and things of that nature as well. If you're listening to this on our audio platform on Spotify or iHeartRadio or Pandora or wherever you're listening, Apple Podcast, thank you so much for being one of our loyal listeners. We really appreciate you. And you can always chime in live if you'd like on our YouTube page at youtube.com/speakupsis if you'd like to actually look at our faces. All right. So before we jump into these questions that I have for you tonight, Eric, if you will please just share a little bit with our viewing and listening audience about who you are.
Okay, wonderful. So my name is Eric Marcus, and I am one of the owners of Royal Trophies. My wife and I, we got into this business in 2019, and it was quite interesting how it unfolded. It was more so, a family looking for an opportunity to become entrepreneurs or to become business owners. And we saw an opportunity with the previous owner who was in essence looking for an opportunity to leave the business. And so we approached him about the opportunity to become new owners. And we pretty much cultivated a relationship within a 3-year time period, but eventually he gave us the chance to take over the shop. And so we've been doing it pretty strong ever since then. And so the company has been in existence, I want to say, since the mid 60s. And so we're the third owners of royal trophies, and so it's been really great so far. And so we focus on awards, branded apparel, and promotional products. Um, and so 2019 is when we jumped in. 2020, the world went upside down. 2021, we made it through, and it's just been going strong ever since. And so it's really great to be here.
Okay, so you actually answered one of the questions I was going to ask you, because I noticed that you said this is a 50-year business. And I was like, okay,
Right, doing the math.
50. Yeah, no. So something super duper interesting that I don't think anyone know. We didn't even know this until I actually met you in person last year. Is that we graduated from the same college?
Right,
We have the same alma mater.
right. That was great.
Yes, I was like, oh my goodness. So everyone, y'all know me. I never forget a face. So I'm looking, I'm like, gosh, she looks so familiar. No, I've seen it before. And as we started to talk, I'm like, there it is, right? Georgia Southern University. We are both, yes, the
That's
only
right.
one
That's
that
right.
matters,
That's right.
GSU.
Absolutely.
Eagles. So when I saw the 50 years in business, I was like, yeah, no. How is that, right? So thank you for sharing that. And hello to your wife as well. Hello. If you're watching us tonight, thank you for allowing him to come on Speak Up Sis podcast and talk to us about you all's business. So I want to show everyone how we got connected. And that is with this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This, everyone, is the official Speak Up Sis Awards trophy. It was designed by my brand team. Shout out to CJ Benjamin in the brand room. But they had a design, but it was kind of in a graphic, pictorial, sort of illustrative type thing. But I wanted a similar design that we could do in real time. And so I handed it over to Eric and his team. And I want to sidebar here, Eric, because I do sidebars a lot
That's
and
cool.
people are used to it. But this is the power of collaboration and word of mouth, because I was looking to get trophies for the Speak Up Sis Award, the inaugural Speak Up Sis Awards last year. And I put it out and was like, hey, I'm looking for somebody. And someone who had gone to an awards event and received an award, received a trophy that you all gave to the other event. And so she reached out to me and said, I don't know these people directly, but their name is on the bottom of my trophy.
Yes.
How cool is that?
So 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 those are our little labels that we put
Mm.
practically on everything. And so we give out at least, or we put those out on at least close to 10,000 a year. And
Wow.
I'm constantly buying more of those labels, and they're running out faster and faster. And so those are our little ways of leaving our foot fingerprint on the community. And so practically everything that goes out, except name badges and some medals, but we'll have those labels on practically everything we
And
do.
it's working, because now you have a regular customer in Speak Up Sis
Yep.
for the you all are the official Speak Up Sis Awards trophy makers, and that's a big deal.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And what's
That's a big
interesting,
deal.
and look, I'm in Atlanta and you're in Augusta. And so, it's not that you have to be local. I mean, we ship things wherever, So we have people who buy things from us in California, New York,
Mhm.
Florida, practically all over the US. So yeah.
That's what's up. And you do good work. I would like to ask some specific questions. Okay. We've got some people in the audience tonight. So we want to make sure that we acknowledge them and then we'll continue with our conversation. Hello, Leslie of Leslie's Lessons Learned. How you doing? Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. That was a bit of a tongue twister, right? My Imperfect Options, how are
Oh,
you? Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, Leslie, the trophy is absolutely beautiful, and I'm excited to award this to 13 new recipients this year. Hello, Oni, how you doing? We got another GSU Eagle in the house.
that's right.
Hello.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. She says, I love that. Label everything and leave your footprint on the community.
Absolutely.
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 Absolutely. My perfect option says that's a huge deal to make the trophies for the Speak Up Sis Award. So thank you all for joining us tonight. If you all have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section for us. If you're listening to the podcast, you can always send us an email and shoot us your questions or comments or just some good feedback if you'd like to. So I would like to ask you about the process of designing a trophy because I guarantee you there are plenty of people who have seen this who are like, okay, I want my own branded trophy.
Absolutely.
Now you can't make this because this
Oh,
this is this
absolutely.
is
Absolutely. Right,
trademark.
right,
Speak Up
right, right,
Sis.
right.
They can't have this. But what does the what is the process of designing and creating a trophy look like?
So typically we would normally start with the budget because the
Mm-hmm.
budgets pretty much dictate, how far we go with reality. And so we kind of decide what the budget is. And so if someone says, hey, X amount of dollars, and then we go into um pat- there's two options. Do they want something custom or do they want something that's, I would use the term stock. That means
Mm-hmm.
that it's made that way. In your case, you went with something custom. And so with that, it takes a little bit longer because you have to plan and prepare for the back and forth. In your case, we actually did a prototype first because we wanted to make sure, and we didn't just want to do this and be surprised at what it looked like. We said, okay, well, let's see what this looked like before we, go into these different awards, and that's what we did. And we made an iteration based off seeing it in real life. Um, and so, yeah, it's typically your budget, kind of deciding what you want it to look like as far as design options. We do different prototypes for you. Um, Provide us information, wait a few weeks if that's necessary, and then next thing you know, you have your awards. So it's pretty easy, um, but it can definitely be very stressful because depending on how far in advance people plan for these awards, if you're working with a few months, you know, it can there's pros and cons with that. Sometimes you can start early but finish in a rush because sometimes you don't realize how fast the time is moving. And so one of the things that I try to stay on my customers with is let's make sure we kind of moving forward with what the prototypes and what the designs look like. So as soon as we get approval or disapproval, it just kind of helps keep the process moving. Otherwise, we can be sitting on a design and next a week or 2 weeks going by, and then next um, we may be waiting for names. There's always different things kind of comes up. But yeah.
Do you have a part in designing or do you have a team that does the actual creating of the prototype, the designing that you allow to do that, or do you have your hands in that as well?
Um, my hands. So in your case, I have a different team that I work with in the in the creation of those awards. And so I may give my insight or perspective on what I want certain parts to look like. For instance, you know, one thing that people pay attention to is how heavy an award is. And so we could make a nice looking award, but depending on the base that we go with, the base may allow the award to feel lighter. And we've had some really nice looking awards, but if they come out looking really feeling light, people just associate cheap with light. And so we want to make sure, particularly if something has a little sense of weight to it, it feels more substantial.
I'm I'm so glad you said that, because this when I feel like it's kind of an in between.
Yeah.
And it's not light like like trash,
Right.
but at the same time, it's not as weighty as glass.
Right.
And I actually thought about either going with recreating this with glass or having a weightier bottom. But then I thought, and I was like, you know what? No, this is the SpeakUpSis trophy.
It's nice.
And this is and let me say this, it wasn't cheap either.
You're right about that. It was not.
So if you equate weight with value, you listen, that don't work with this. Just let me say that.
No, those weren't cheap. Those weren't cheap.
When you receive a SpeakUpSis Awards trophy, just know a lot of thought. We had a designer to design it. We hired an amazing team in Royal Trophies, and they are part of the SpeakUpSis team now. We hired an amazing company to create it in real time, and we did not spare the cost.
No, they didn't.
To get it done. This is the prototype. And so you see, and I just want to say, y'all are such consummate professionals, because when I came down, when I went up to Atlanta to check out the prototype, I saw the back. This is the prototype. And I was like, no, we need to do something else with the back. And immediately Eric was like, absolutely. There was no going back and forth. He wasn't trying to talk me out of what I wanted. He was, sometimes you can work with a company and because they don't want to do more work, or they feel like what they've done is good enough. They may try to convince you that what you have is perfect, but you didn't do that. I love the fact that you listened to me. You heard what I was saying. You accepted what I said, and you found a way to give me what I wanted. And so the actual trophies have like this gold mirror on the back. Y'all, I almost fell out when I saw these trophies. They were so beautiful. I drove all the way to East Point. Eric said, he said, we can have them shipped to you. I said, because they might get my address wrong or something. I said, no. Have them shipped to you, because that's what you're used to doing, and I'll come pick them up. I drove all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to pick those trophies up. We won't be doing that this year, though, because we have more than enough time. We're not designing this year. We're just reordering.
Right.
So that's another question. If someone decided to work with you all to create something custom like this, once it's created the first time, do you all keep those prototypes to be able to reproduce them or not? Okay.
Yeah. So typically, whatever someone does, we keep records of that. So it makes the process much easier going forward. So like in your case, all we're gonna do in essence is give them the names and let them know when we need to have them ready by, and then we're good to go.
See? So if you are watching this and you are one of the 65 finalists for the SpeakUpSis, the second annual SpeakUpSis Awards, there are only two people in this world who know who you are. Those people are right now on your screen or we're in your ear as you're listening. Don't call him and ask him because he's not going to tell you.
Right. I'm like, who are you? Who are you?
So that's what's up. So do you have have you ever had to, you and your team, create a trophy or something else? Because, and I would like for you to talk about some of the other things that you all do other than the trophies, but have you had to create something that was rather challenging? Is there
Oh
a,
yes, yes. Um, so we are constantly are being challenged or pushed to go beyond what someone is looking to do, or beyond what we have in the books or in the catalog. Um, and typically the challenge normally comes from someone's mental expectations and reality. So sometimes, like I had this one award that someone wanted to do, and it was extremely elaborate, and so we gave them the price for that award, and their jaws almost like dropped out of their mouth at the cost. And so when we had to dial it back to reality, then it was something that was, okay, we can make that happen. But and ultimately they were very pleased with the outcome, within the price range that they wanted to work with. But yeah, we constantly are being challenged to do certain things, and then I'm also one of those, or we have the mindset that if you're willing to pay for it, we're willing to try it. And so so there's a lot of things that we've done where you know it's definitely not something that we'll think about doing, but we'll try to connect with someone else mental perspective and see how we could make some magic.
you said,
and,
if y'all
and,
gonna pay for it, we're
look,
gonna do it.
now, and I can't say now that there are some things that we've produced that I don't put my label on, because
So
they
is
like
that
it,
because
they
of the
like it,
design
they may
or
like it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I like it. now, now, like I said, you know, um, so in those cases, you may not see my label on the bottom of those awards, but 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 if they're happy, I'm happy.
that's funny. That's funny.
I'm just,
So
I'm just being honest. This is the inside. This is the inside
yes,
conversation.
and it's the truth. But it's the absolute truth. It's like, okay, you want that, I'm gonna get it to you. But don't tell nobody I did it for you.
Right, right.
So that, but is that typically not so much of the quality of the product that you produce, but the type of design
Right.
is more, when that happens, is more about the design, right?
It is. It is. It is. It is. It is.
Gotcha.
Because it's like when you think of music, there's so many
Mhm.
genres of music, um, and there's something that's tasteful to everyone, but that doesn't mean that everyone's music is tasteful to you. And so when I have these different ideas that people come up with, you know, yeah, y- you'll be su- you'll be surprised at some of the things that we produced for others.
I can only imagine. But I'm the same way with Speak Up Sis. It's like I'll be like, hey, high five. Oh, keep doing what you're doing. I'm just not coming. I
I get it.
won't be in attendance. You
I
know
get
what
it.
I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. I
I'm
get it.
not gonna put Speak Up Sis in that place. We're not doing that, right? So
Right.
I
Right.
totally understand. We have some more guests. How you doing, Crystal? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Joining me here on Speak Up Sis podcast with the one-on-one with Angel segment. My guest is Mr. Eric Marcus. He is co-owner of Royal Trophies out of it's East Point, Georgia, correct?
Yes.
That's East Atlanta. So he is here talking to us tonight about his business, as well as the beautiful trophies he made for Speak Up Sis Awards. Hello, Susan. It's good to see you, sis. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight as well. We are having a good time. Miranda Gates, how you doing, sis? She is one of the, I believe, wait a minute. I think she's one of our 65 finalists. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this gentleman here is responsible for those beautiful awards that you all are looking to potentially receive in September. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm really having a good time with this conversation. So I would like to ask you a question about pricing because you said, okay, if you can pay for it. And the truth is, what I found, even with the work that I do, people want things that they really can't afford. Um, they want quality, you know, for a low quality budget.
Right.
And I think you can get something really beautiful within your price range.
Absolutely.
So what I would like to know is if there are people who are wanting to maybe put on an awards, they wanted to, do something like this. They want a nice trophy, but their budget is, on the minimal side.
Yep.
Are there any specific what's the word I'm looking for? Materials? Like, are there any that are more expensive than others? Because I was shocked. Those Some of those heavier glasses are not as
Nope.
expensive as
No.
some of the other materials. So, if you can give us maybe a scale of something you can get really pretty, that's less expensive, and that goes sort of towards the higher end.
So believe it or not, there's practically an award for every budget. Um, and we have things that can be done on the $20 level up into the $100 level, even more. And so for us, we always encourage people to really be true to your budget because the truth is, and I remind people, you know, what's really important is the story that goes behind the award. So even if you have something that to someone else's perspective may not cost as much, we make all of our awards look really nice. And so whether someone was giving out small trophies with marble bases that may cost $7 or $8, you know, if you talk up that person very well and make them feel good before their peers, it's going to mean a lot to them, regardless of what was went into the cost of that award. And so we definitely try to encourage people to not get so caught up on it has to be expensive, it has to be XYZ. Do what you can afford. Um, and spend more time in making each person feel special in how you present that award, because that's what's they're going to remember most anyway, is that moment that they had before their peers or their family. And so that's something that we try to encourage our customers to embrace, even as they're kind of considering their options.
That's what's up. I think that's a great point. It's a fabulous point. Um, there's a lot, though. I will tell you all, for those of you who are thinking about trophies, initially when I went to look, I was overwhelmed. You've got resin, you've got glass, you've got materials I can't even remember. You got I don't know if it's plastic, but there are so many different types of materials that you can get. And what I love about Royal Trophies is that if you actually connect with them, they'll walk you through it. He didn't just say, just check out my website. Like, everything you need is on the website. And if you want something else, then call us. He didn't do that. and I appreciate that. I'm telling you, customer service, like My Imperfect Option said, customer service is a real thing,
Oh yeah.
and they're really good with customer service. So if you're looking to work with a company that makes trophies, this is definitely a great company with which to work. So you all don't just make trophies. What are some of the other items that you make and that you carry at Royal Trophies?
Right. So in the beginning, I think I mentioned that we, provide, in addition to awards, we do the branded apparel and promotional products. But even in the award space, we break down the things like lapel pins, name badges, uh, champ chains, um, challenge coins. With the apparel, that goes across the gamut. Like this shirt I'm wearing, it's an embroidered shirt, embroidered hats, screen printed T-shirts. And when it comes to promotional products, it just goes, banners, um, tents, anything that you can put your name on. We also provide that as well. And so when we first started, we really focused strictly on the awards, but that was when the pandemic hit. It kind of forced us to look into other areas where we can still be relevant when people weren't really, buying awards. And so that's when we jumped into the apparel and the promotional products. And so now, we've been doing a lot for different organizations, the t-shirts, the backpacks, umbrellas. Um, and so those are other areas where we, help our customers with.
Okay, that's what's up. I didn't realize that you do all of those things as well. I'm definitely looking into some more promotional type things like pins and things like
Yeah.
that. And I know we can order lots of things online from like Vistaprint and stuff
Yep.
like that. But I believe in keeping the money in the community. I just do. Um, that's a whole other subject. But if you all are watching and you're listening, make sure that you first be intentional to look for small businesses that make what it is that you want prior to going to some of the larger places. If the smaller businesses just don't offer what you want, then okay, go to some of the larger businesses. But we've got some really amazing smaller businesses with great customer service, people you actually can see, touch, talk to, who provide, like I said, customer service is really big for me. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I pay the money for customer service just because, yeah, I feel some kind of way about spending my money and being treated like I'm not spending my money, you know?
You're right.
So I am a huge proponent of supporting businesses that know that like the livelihood of their business is on their customers.
Absolutely.
And so, and I appreciate that. And you all, and something else last year when I came to pick up the trophies, remember something happened with the timing. I think I was rushing or you were going somewhere or something. But here's customer service for you when you're working with smaller businesses. I believe, I don't know if it was your wife. Was it your wife or was it just someone that works in the shop with you? Can't remember. But anyway, she stayed. Remember, I was rushing and I thought y'all were open. It was some missing communication. And you were like, oh, we're open on from such and such time. So I drove down like on a Monday or something like that. You were like, we ain't open on that day. I was like, what? It's not ready. And you were like, look, my teammate is there doing something and she don't leave until XYZ time. So, I was like, I'm gonna be there. Man, I think I broke so many traffic laws. I was like, we're gonna get these trophies.
Right. Right.
And so to me, it's things like that that matter because a larger, some big corporation or whatever, just been
Right.
out. They would have
Right.
been like, we're so sorry, ma'am, but yeah.
Yeah. And so for us, every relationship matters. And so we don't really treat um whenever we're working with someone, we don't treat it like as if it's just a transaction, like you just bought a hamburger from McDonald's. For us, we care about the outcome. And so sometimes, we'll follow them and say, hey, how did everything turn out? Um, you know, and we look for ways to make the process even better. But, you know, I'm constantly putting myself in my customers' shoes. And so I look at things from your perspective as I'm working with someone. If I'm working with something and I'm feeling a little insecure about, am I going to spend too much, or is this going to be just right? We do what we can to ease people's um, anxiety levels or fears, and just make the process even easy to work with.
Yeah. And it's definitely a process that can cause anxiety. You want, you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong. You're thinking about all the things that, could potentially happen, right? You start creating stories in your head. But to know that the company that you're working with, is thinking about that and is concerned about that. I also want to just kind of sidebar for people who are thinking about having an award show or working with someone to create trophies or promotional materials. You're getting them for an event or something of that nature. Planning is important, people.
It
I
is.
cannot stress enough the importance of planning. There are some people who wonder, like, okay, Angel, why do you start in February when the award show isn't until September? Because I want to make sure that I have crossed all my T's, dotted
Yep.
all the I's, looped all the Q's. I want to have enough time to where if there's going to be a hiccup, I can go to some plan B, C, something else. But I think a lot of times people wait till last minute. And I think you said something earlier along these lines where people, I'm sure folks come to you like, oh, can you do this? And this is happening in 2 weeks. And you're like, you want me to do what?
Oh, we get that a lot. I mean, we get that a lot. And interestingly, we don't turn them away either, because there's options for even those rushed orders. So, we have people who plan ahead, in advance, and we love that. But we also have, as I would say, they're on the bleeding edge. They need stuff next week. And so we have options that can make that work. And so because we understand, sometimes if you're very busy, that date can sneak up on you. It's like, I forgot. We get that a lot. And we do our best to help as many as we can. Because I can't say we help them all, but we do our
Mhm.
best to help most of them. Um, yeah, we sure do.
So, do you all have any big things coming up in the near future for your business? Are you planning some growth or anything exciting happening
Well,
with the business?
so right now we're just in this season where we are experiencing a lot of growth, and we're just really just trying to maintain. Because with that, you know, we as I said, the messy middle. Things are you're used to things working a certain way with a certain level of volume, but because the volume has been increasing quite a bit, making sure that all of the team members are in sync. And so we're just working through that. But overall, the heart is still there to make sure that we serve everyone with the dignity and respect that they deserve, and making sure everyone looks good. Because my thing is, if we make you look good, we're gonna look good. And that's all I think is, we just want to make you look good, make you shine, and and keep that relationship going.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I know we had a little bit of a rocky start, but this has really been a great conversation. We have not been broadcasting our Speak Up Sis podcast live for a few months consistently. Not sure if I told you this or not, but I'm actually sitting in the SpeakUpSis Empowerment Center
Okay, wow.
now, and so we open our brick and mortar space, which we didn't have when we connected last year, but we have it now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so we've had so much going on until I had to put podcasting, on the back burner for a little while. So I'm really excited to be back in this space because I love talking to people, hearing people's stories, sharing stories to inspire the stories of others. And I think what it is that you all are doing, how you've established your business, the way and the manner in which you run your business is pretty inspiring. And so I always ask my guests before we close out if you have any words of encouragement or inspiration for anyone who may be thinking to start their own trophy business or just business in general.
So I will say this. Um, Regardless of what you are looking to start, the most important thing is to start. Sometimes people get so caught up on things being perfect before they really get started. And so my thing is just start with what you have and where you are and keep on moving. Because there's this thing when once you get that momentum going, whether it's one customer or one idea, and you began to see it grow, momentum breeds momentum. It's very hard to stop a moving train. And um, so that's what I would encourage people. Just start with what you have and keep on pressing.
That's some great advice. I always say, do it afraid until you can do it brave.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I put it on a t-shirt.
I like
Do
that.
it afraid until you can do it brave,
Amen. I like
And
that.
as long as you keep showing up, it's
That's right.
gonna work out.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
it's gonna work out. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on to Speak Up Sis podcast to have this one-on-one conversation with me about Royal Trophies, as well as all of the things that you all are doing. I really, really appreciate this beauty right here. If y'all are just tuning in, this is the official Speak Up Sis Awards trophy that Royal Trophies created for us last year for the inaugural Speak Up Sis Awards. And there is, oh, I don't think you got to see it, but hanging on our wall out there, uh, Representative Dr. Lynn Gladney. She is
Mm.
Georgia, one of the Georgia State House of Representatives for District 130. She um, she gave us that's what I'm looking for. She presented a resolution
Mm.
to honor the Speak Up Sis, and the Speak Up Sis award recipients last year. All of their names
Oh,
are
wow.
on the resolution. Let me tell you,
Wow.
this sweet baby right here is all over. Your work is in Cameroon, Africa.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes, our
Wow.
humanitarian award honoree. She flew in. She's a foreign diplomat. Shout out to Welasani Mokwe Inking. She flew in last year from Cameroon to be a part of the awards, and she received the humanitarian award. This year, we have another Cameroonian who is going to receive the humanitarian award. So
Wow.
listen,
Wow.
your work
Wow.
is throughout the U.S.
Wow.
I know you've done business with other people as well, but just know these Big Up Sis trophies are throughout the U.S. as well as internationally at this point.
That's all
So
right. That's all right.
yes, thank you so much for doing excellent, excellent work. We absolutely love it, and we appreciate doing business with you. And we're going to continue doing business with you all
Amen.
as long as y'all are having a Royal Trophies
That's
business.
right. That's right. That's right.
We will be doing business. So before we close out for the night, would you like to let everybody know how they can reach you all, give them your socials and all of your
Absolutely.
contact information, and if there's anything else that you would like to share with our viewing and listening audience, please do that at
Oh,
this
absolutely.
time.
So you can find us at royaltrophies.com. That's our website. Um, we are on Instagram and on Facebook. That's Royal Trophies, RoyalTrophies. But all of that you can find on our website. And give us a call. We'd love to connect with you. And thank you for having us.
All right. And with that, everyone, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the love and all the support, Speak Up Sis community. You all rock. You always show up and you're always amazing. Thank you so much. We will be right back here next week, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our Encouraging Experts segment. CJ Benjamin, the lead brand strategist of the Brand Room, and Speak Up Sis's very own brand strategist. They are the people who designed the original. He is going to be our expert for our Encouraging Experts segment, y'all. So if you are a small business owner and you're thinking about rebranding or branding, then you could be a guest on the Encouraging Experts segment. And CJ is going to give you some feedback about your brand. You can ask him all the questions. He's going to let you know what you can do to make that brand look prettier, look nicer, be more inviting. Whatever brand strategists do, you're going to be our guest, and he is going to give you expert advice specifically about your business. If you're interested in being a guest on the Encouraging Experts segment, please visit speakupsis.com/podcast and complete our Become a Guest form. And maybe we'll see you here in one of our next Encouraging Experts segments. Until next time, don't forget to open up your mouth and speak up. We'll see you all later. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Speak Up Sis Podcast, Facebook at Speak Up Sis Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Speak Up Sis. Have a good night. Eric, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.